Hi, everyone. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Nick Squared podcast. I'm your host, Nick. This is a man I met at a bathroom at Chili's. What's your name, sir?
Chili's Batman.
Chili's Batman. Um, Welcome to the show. Nick couldn't be on today, and I met this
No.
guy at Chili's. Anywho, today we're going to be talking about my favorite headline of the month. Evangelical Christian furries are worried they'll be targeted for their faith. Now,
Could you repeat that one time, please?
one time, here we go. Evangelical Christian furries are
Uh-huh.
worried they'll be targeted for their faith.
So I understand every word you just said, but I don't understand them
how they
together.
come together. Yeah, apparently their main concern, from what I can tell from the article, is that their views on homosexual relationships aren't going to be accepted within the community. That their views on uh the the
That's their
sanctity
worry.
the sanctity of a sexual relationship is their worry here. They're like, how can
So
I be a furry and not accept gay people? Like, how can I do this?
so I have spent the better part of my life living under rocks. But I had a furry work with me one time. And he was very serious when he said, "Hey, I want to let you know I'm a furry." I didn't know what that meant. So I thought it meant like he had a lot of hair or something. And I was like, cool,
Sure,
do you?
he's furry.
Yeah.
Right.
Um, and then I would watch him like struggle. And he's like, I don't have any money for food. And I didn't know why he struggled. And then he came in to work one day during Halloween in a $3,000 dragon costume.
Well, hold on. Let me branch off here. Furry, but dragons don't have fur, right?
He was a furry dragon that had animatronic wings
Okay,
that opened, a full mouth that opened, and smoke that came out, eyes that lit up. And then he looked
wonderful.
at me in the costume and said, "This is my true self. This is who I really am."
Man, that must, you know what? More power to him. If he sees himself that way, I'm glad.
Well, then he immediately went to the dog food aisle and videotaped himself pretending to eat dog food. So, um,
Did he
I
hurt
was like,
anybody, Nick? Did he hurt anyone?
he scarred me. It's been 15 years. I'm still
Uh,
thinking about it. I saw
yeah,
a dragon with a 20-foot wingspan eating kibbles and bits. What do you want me to do with it?
I think it's impressive. If there's any furries listening, I accept you.
No, it bothered me so much because I'm sitting there wondering, why is a dragon eating dog food?
So yeah, I don't,
That's not
wouldn't he be
real.
hoarding gold?
That's not, yeah, right?
Yeah. If I was a
Anyway,
dragon furry, that's what I would be doing. I would have piles of gold and just, move
speaking,
around like smog all the time.
oh,
Just
watching Cumberbatch do that. Anyways, speaking of dragons that aren't real and don't make any sense, have you read this piece of crap?
no, I haven't. I didn't make it through the first one. My wife
So,
loves the first one though.
can she hear me?
No.
Good. Steaming hot pieces of crap.
Oh no. I mean,
So, I
I
read,
wasn't. It didn't captivate me, like I said before.
didn't,
I think we've talked about it before, but
yes. Well, so I'm reading Murtagh right now by Christopher Paolini. Phenomenal book so far. About 100 and something pages into it. Both books came out November 7th. He has been traveling the world doing book signings like every other day. New York's #1 bestseller. He's all over the place. And people are ridiculing this man because there's a comma missing in one chapter or a period missing somewhere.
right.
Um, and they're like, ho, 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 where's your editors at? Ho, ho, ho. And he's been super cool about it. He's been, look, I'll fix it. Second round of prints will be there. But he's been very respectful for it. Nobody has
Right.
complained about the story. Then I read this hot garbage, and it picks up. Book one ends on a cliffhanger, and the entire time I'm reading this book, this is exactly no lie how it goes. You start a chapter and there's a big issue, and you're like, "Oh my goodness, how's Violet going to get through this? This is a major problem." And then 2 pages later, barely an inconvenience.
Super easy, barely an
Super easy.
inconvenience.
And it just solves itself. And then you're reading it and you're like, "Oh, this is going to be major in the story." No, no, it's not. And all the questions you had in book one, instead of answering any of them, we're just going to add a whole bunch more that don't make any sense.
Ah, the J.J. Abrams, the method there, yeah.
Yes. And then she said book three's already finished and book four is off to the editor.
Dear Lord.
I'm not saying she didn't write it, but I'm saying whatever AI program did, they plugged in every fantasy trope and let it spit that junk out, and they put a cover on it and said, "You wrote a
Jeez
book."
Louise. So, like I said, I pre-ordered that book for my wife, and she's reading it, and um, she's seeing some issues with it. She's seeing some issues with it. Like I said,
And
she
it,
thoroughly enjoyed the first one, but she said that this one's seeming a little, you know,
yes. Well, it really, I stand by my statement. I believe wholeheartedly she did not write this, not in its entirety. Because, and it's not just like the storytelling, it's not just how lifeless it feels, because
yeah,
there's no humanity to it. We don't talk about any of the senses that often, not smells, not touches, nothing. They never eat. They don't have hobbies. There's no depth to any of the characters. But besides all of that, um, the world seems really cool. We just don't flush anything out. And the moment we have something, it's there for a purpose. Hey, we need this character, and this is going to be a little spoilery, but we need this character, introduce him, give him a backstory, everything for this one moment, and then he's just gone. Now he's there the rest of the book. He just doesn't talk. He's just there in the backgrounds. And that happened so often where we go to these cool places, no descriptions. We're not there for any real reason. We're there for 30 seconds and then we're gone. 4 month jump. And some people are defending it, saying, "Oh, it's supposed to be written like that. It's supposed to be written bad." That doesn't make sense. It's
yes. Like
yeah,
you go order a pizza, right? And there's nails on the pizza. It's like the guy fully intended to put the nails there, but it doesn't make it any good, right?
no, it's like purposely losing the Super Bowl. I tried to
Yeah.
do that, yeah.
Yeah,
How much yeah. So,
I was
in
trying to
this
hit the goalpost with the ball, and that makes it more impressive, honestly.
yeah. So, like I said, reading it has all the potential. What I think happened, because she's got like 15 books published already, I really believe that she had some good ideas and plugged them into the AI. It filled in a bunch of stuff, and they said, "We'll release it. Nobody will notice. Probably not going to be a overnight international bestseller. So we'll just see what happens."
It
And
was though.
oops, it was. Because even
Uh,
Stephen King puts out 1 to 2 books a year.
yeah.
Dude's been doing it forever.
He's known for being
Um,
quick about it.
he's known for being quick. I think she's got like 4 kids or something,
Hmm.
a husband, and she cranked out. You tell me she wrote 4 books in under 8 months.
Yeah, kids.
This is
Huh,
Captain AI, and I sense
yeah.
some BS floating out there.
Yeah, you think we're gonna get a our news report in a couple months? This author's outed for using AI in her books. You think that's a possibility?
I don't think so, because I think the publisher it was either in on it or did it.
Uh,
Because
definitely
the thing is, like,
possible.
when you write a book, you send it off to the publisher. They look at it. They say, "Hey, we want to make these changes." They send it back to you. You look at it. You sign off on the changes or make the changes or however that work pans out. You send it back to them. They agree to it. They send it back to you. You agree to it. You still got to go through grammar checks. You got to go through formatting. Hey, how do we think about this cover? How do you like about this? Even if you streamlined a lot of it, it still takes time. Not
Yeah,
4 books in 8 months.
yeah, that's crazy. Plus,
So
obviously, the quality isn't going to turn out super hot either.
No, and if the publisher knew and saw this and read this and said, "Wait a minute, this doesn't seem right," I would question their integrity if they didn't say, "Hey, I think this is an AI." I think they plugged it in. I think they said, "You're doing great. We're going to fluff it up a little bit. And what do you think? Well, you're going to get paid. Who cares?"
Sounds easy.
Yeah, but and I mean, she's not in hiding, but she's not nearly as active as some of these other authors that when their book comes out, every 2 seconds they're posting about it, they're talking about
Yeah.
it. Hey, book signing this, that, this. It's almost like I said, she's not hiding, but it just seems odd that she's not celebrating this book so much, if that makes sense.
Maybe she feels disconnected from this one because of that. I mean, but anyway, it's still no one. This is just us. No one knows for sure if that's the case.
No,
But
this is breaking news. Hear it here first.
you
Um,
look so credible right now. So
I know, believe me.
yeah. Um.
So, but I need your help with something. I've been thinking about something.
Yeah. Let's go.
Think about getting an Xbox.
No, don't.
Oh my
Why?
gosh.
Did we talk about this last time?
I know, but
But
okay, no Xbox.
so no Xbox. But the Game Awards are coming up, and
What are the
for
Game Awards?
so there this guy named Jeff Keighley. Um, he it's for the longest time. So let's start for the longest time. You know how games like you see like 10 games have Game of the Year editions come out. You know what I mean? Like they'll have a Game of the Year edition, but like 5 or 6 different franchises come out with a Game of the Year edition, and it's like which one was the Game of the Year.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
The thing is, there's like Steam has a Game of the Year, Game Informer would have a Game of the Year, IGN would have a Game of the Year, and it would all end up being different games. The
Makes
Game
sense.
Awards seems to be like the Oscars of that now. It's becoming more like a centralized, like, look, people vote on this. This
This
isn't,
is the actual Game of the Year.
this is the Game of the Year more than the things that win at the Game Awards are more than likely because they're voted by us. You can go vote for it right now.
Spider-Man 2.
But I think that's I think it's a good contender. I would say Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom is what I would call the Game of the Year. But I have a question for you though. Do you think remakes should be on the list for Game of the Year? Because Resident Evil 4 is on the ballot. One of the
So
nominees.
let's pretend for a second
Yeah.
that I don't really play video games or have anything to do with video games.
Uh-huh.
So just, blue.
Right.
When you say remake,
Yeah.
are you talking like do they actually go in and redo the code and clean and
This is a
make the game
remake.
anew?
This is new game, new code, new everything. No
Okay,
reused assets as far as there's a new
but
it's a different game called Resident Evil 4. It's the same characters, but it's a different engine. It's a new game.
because my thought is that not what Call of Duty has been doing for the last like 6 years?
Yeah. I think one of them is on the ballot too, honestly, isn't it?
um, and I was actually talking with somebody at work about this. When's the last time you walked down the video game aisle at like a Walmart?
Don't.
So I walked down one, and there is probably 20 feet of video games.
Yeah.
They're probably 10 per shelf and probably 5 or 6 shelves.
Hmm.
Let's just say 50 per section. That's a ton of video games. I knew, and again, I'm not the most well versed in video games. I'll admit that. I'm nothing if not a humble man who's willing to admit when, hey, I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know any of them. Like I knew Spider-Man, Call of Duty. Did I mention
Mario.
Spider-Man? I
Yeah.
knew some. Yeah, I knew some Mario. There were thousands or hundreds, not thousands, hundreds of games I'd never seen. All the covers looked oddly similar, like they all had the same graphics. I didn't know any of them. And when I talked to some of the people there, they're like, "Oh, a lot of these are smaller platform. They're not as big
Yeah.
as the other ones. They're still charging $70 a
They
piece."
are. They are charging
So,
for it.
so I feel like, I mean, you're more into video games. When's the last time one of these like no-name games was up there? like won or contended with a Call of Duty or a Spider-Man 2?
So, last time when Horizon Zero Dawn came out for PS4, that it kind of contended. I'm sure there's more. I'm not so out of the loop on this stuff now because all I do is let
Because
me
you're
let me
old, I
look
understand.
let me look at, because I'm pretty sure there's probably one on there this year. Um,
Oh, okay. I was. Do they have like an indie category? Is it
yeah, they do. They do have an
okay?
indie category. Um, they have the one that I'm peeved about is the fighting game category. Um,
Tekken.
huh?
Tekken.
Tekken? I don't think Tekken's out yet. Tekken 8.
Oh, they're actually making another Tekken. Oh, never mind. I
Yeah,
was just
so
throwing
okay, so
Primal Roar.
here are the nominees for Game of the Year. Um, all of these deserve to be on here, just so everyone knows. Alan Wake 2. I don't know if you ever played Alan Wake. It's really cerebral. It's a good game. Super Mario.
What was that one called?
Alan Wake. Alan Wake 2 is,
Oh,
yeah,
I thought you said Alan Wick. I was like John's
yeah,
younger
yeah.
brother.
Alan Wake. Um, he's actually John's stepson, and he took his name because his real dad sucks.
Oh,
Anyway, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. People have said that this game is as good as like almost the best one since Super Mario World. Well, that's huge. I haven't played it yet. It's probably going to be a Christmas gift. Um, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. So we got a Mario and a Zelda on there. I think that happened in 2017 too. I would vote. I'm voting for Tears of the Kingdom. That game was so good. Breath of the Wild was a tech demo, and this game was the real release, I believe. Baldur's Gate 3, I think that'll win. I'm not voting for it. I think I liked Tears of the Kingdom better just because I'm a big Zelda fan, but I think Baldur's Gate 3 will win it. That had a lot of people playing it. Did you ever play it? I don't know if you ever had time to play a game like that.
so I played Baldur's Gate: Eye of the Beholder
Oh,
way
oh
back.
yeah.
Yeah, way back in the day,
Oh man,
pre-children.
you would love this game. You would love this game. Um, Resident Evil 4, it's the remake is on there. Good game, really good game. But like I said, a debate on a remake is out there. And then Marvel's Spider-Man 2, also a pretty big contender. I haven't played it yet just because time and money, but it looks so
So
good.
out of out of all those games so far, one of them seems to not be a big platform already.
What do you mean? Talking about Alan Wake?
Yeah,
Oh, no, you're just out of the loop. That's a huge game.
but I mean, I no,
But
I'm
yeah,
not saying it's not a
it's
huge
not a big
game.
IP.
Yes, it wasn't writing it. It's not Alan Wake 7,
Exactly. It's not Alan Wake's
John
7.
Wake's Return.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's Epic. Here's the thing: Epic Games made it, which are the people that make Fortnite. Um,
Oh,
but Alan Wake doesn't have the name power that Legend of Zelda or Super Mario has, or even Resident Evil. Honestly, um,
because those are games that if you're somewhat into games, but you don't watch ads or anything like that, and you walked into a store, those are names that you would gravitate to. Oh, there's a new Legend of Zelda. Ooh, there's a new Pokemon. Ooh, there's a new Mario. Those are ones that
yeah,
you'd go for.
yeah, exactly. So before I mentioned the fighting games, right? I You don't play fighting games, do you?
I don't play any game.
Yeah, sometimes you do, but yeah, I know. Anyone listening that plays fighting games, Street Fighter 6 is on this ballot. Everyone knows that I'm the Mortal Kombat guy. Like Mortal Kombat is my favorite video game ever at all. This new one's got some problems with like monetization and stuff, but the gameplay is still pretty tight. Street Fighter 6 deserves this. Plain and
Whoa,
simple. Plain and simple. It's my I'm comfortable calling it the best fighting game ever. I'm comfortable with that. I can say that
wow.
and not feel like I'm being,
Would you say this Street Fighter game is as good as the movie?
Almost. There's no Jean-Claude
Okay.
Van Damme. Mortal Kombat 1 has Jean-Claude Van Damme in it.
That one
So,
should win.
yeah, I mean, Van Damme has the star power, so
Has Chuck Norris ever been in one of these games?
probably. I'm sure you're talking about a fighting game.
Yeah.
I would break it.
That's that. I think that would be hilarious.
Yeah,
To have a final boss that is an infinite fight that there's no way to beat, and it's Chuck Norris.
but I do like, yeah, Chuck Norris would be awesome. Maybe, hey, if anything can happen in Mortal Kombat. You know, the
Isn't that
last game we had Terminator, Rambo, and RoboCop.
is that weird for you as a Mortal Kombat fan to see them just throwing in whatever they can get their hands on?
No, because Mortal Kombat, if you look at the lore and the first couple of games, all of those games are based on 80s action movies. They're, Bruce Lee stuff, Commando, they had the special forces people that are all like Commando and, muscly and, Johnny Cage spouting out the one-liners. It's all about that 80s nostalgia for action movies, right? That's what Mortal Kombat is. So, we've had guests get the horror characters take me out of it. Like I understand because it is a violent game. The horror characters are, sort of part of it, but Predator, the Xenomorph, um, uh, Rambo, RoboCop, Terminator, they all fit into Mortal Kombat to me. I honestly believe that.
I've got it has to do with fighting games, but it's also a parenting question.
Yeah.
This is an honest question. If anybody listening is a parent, I'd love to know your answers too, because I was confronted with this. My kids, unlike me, they don't have them responsibilities. So these lazy freeloaders play video games. My son or particularly enjoys the Super of the Smash Brothers. Uh, Fun game, played on the Switch. It's fun. Um, I have not played this new one that often, but while I don't play video games now, I played video games a ton back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you've ever taken a long break from video games, but I can pick up a controller and play just about any first person shooter with varying degrees of
Relative
success.
ease. I mean, it's
Yeah,
basically the same.
basically the same. And I've clocked in thousands of hours over the years. So it's muscle memory. I know what these buttons do and I know how to play.
Yeah.
Um, Same thing for Super Smash Brothers. So we went on vacation a few months ago with another family, and we decided how cool would it be to bring the Switch, put it up on the TV in the house we were renting. We have a slew of kids between us, and let the kids play. Um, well, one day while we were doing this, they called me over and they were like, "Yo, Uncle Nick, you want to come play some Super Smash Bros?" And I was like, "Absolutely." And they started talking trash like children do. Your mama. And I'm looking at my son going, "That's your mom. What are you talking about?" No, I'm just kidding. But so we're sitting there playing. I steamroll them, right?
Yeah.
Just
You show them what's
they're,
what. You,
they're children,
yeah.
you know. And I'm just barely getting hit, and I am wailing on them. And I had no child can defeat Captain Awesome. So then I hand my controller over to my friends, and they let their kids win, and they're like, "Good job."
Oh
And
no.
so then they
No.
hand it back to me, and I stomp their kids, and I'm like, "Look at eat it." Um, and one of the kids came over to the house a while ago and saw me whooping up on my daughter, and I'm just barely looking at the screen, whooping her characters. And he was like, "You never let them win." And I said, "No, victories are earned, not given." Do you let
Yes.
your kids win at these fighting games, or you just
Um, so if I do, like if I decide that just to let her wail on me, I say, "Hey, I need to let you know something," and then I immediately flawless her. That's just I just wanted you to know that that was practice. Like this
okay?
isn't gonna happen again.
See, I don't even do that.
Yeah.
Mario Kart, perfect scores. Um, I said, I don't play often.
Lap them
Yeah,
a
like,
couple times.
yeah. Now this is paid out several times because I'll hear my daughter get upset and I'll go into my bedroom. I'll say, hey, what's wrong? Where the PlayStation is? She's like, I'm playing Fortnite, and she'll mute with she got all her friends on there, and she's like, we're playing this game. There's like six of her friends, and it's like a free for all on a really small map. Last one
Yeah,
standing wins. Best of like 100 maps. I don't know what the
yeah.
heck it's called. She's like, they're just whooping me. And I say, okay, keep your headset on, keep talking to them, and then I'll take the controller, and 30 seconds in, they'll scream, "It's her dad! It's her dad! Her dad's playing! Get
That's
away!"
funny.
And I will just murk them. 360 no scopes. I'm
You
over there
seem
just
so
screaming.
pleased.
So pleased. Because I'll turn around and I will look at my wife and go, still got it. Have you ever been more attracted to me than this moment right now? And she usually says, hey, get away from me. But, anyways, but a lot of people I've talked to are like, no, I let my kids win. I've got a foosball table. I don't let my kids win. I have a dartboard. I don't let my kids win. We'll go outside and play soccer. I don't let my kids win. And I'm wondering, should I start letting them win or just keep
So
rubbing their face in it?
that's no one knows the answer to that question.
Rub their face in it. Good choice.
Yeah.
All right, next talking point.
Oh
Did
man,
your parents ever, did you ever do this kind of thing with your parents? Did they ever let you in or did they just beat you at
they
whatever
must
games you were
have.
playing?
They must have. Because when you're a kid, you don't know. You think you're winning,
Yeah. You
but
know how
they
many
must
times I
have.
played, you know how many times I played Uno and I was, Uno, I got one card. And then
And
I
they
see
just
my
load you
dad
down, huh?
turn.
They just load
Yeah.
you down.
I learned at a young age. My
Oh,
mom is sweet and she is nice, but not when we're playing phase 10.
that's funny. I like that. Oh,
So
that's funny.
we'll say we just have no idea how to raise children.
Ah, well, who does? Who knows? We're all just
Very true.
trying different stuff, right? Um,
Honestly, and that's the most accurate thing. You try it and go, what's happening? I hope this doesn't scar you for life,
yeah.
but
Look,
I'm
and
gonna
look
let you.
when I compare my upbringing to my daughters and now my sons, as long as they know how to get food in their mouths later, I think it's gonna be all right. Um, but the rest is extra in my book. They can put clothes on their body, put food in their mouths, and talk to people.
Yep.
I think that'll be okay. Because when I went to adulthood, man, I if someone asked me a question like at a bank, I'd be like, my social security number? What?
You want my
So
favorite number? I can give you my
I give you my
favorite
favorite
number.
number. Yeah. Oh,
Fun time.
what else is
Fun
good these
time.
days?
There's a lot of
So
movies.
oh,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
so for a while there, I was not gonna watch The Flash.
You didn't watch The Flash?
I have now. Well,
Oh,
I forgot about the Ezra Miller thing because I don't. I tried
dude's
not to.
creepy.
He is creepy. He's a criminal. So I was just not gonna support. I was just not gonna support it. I was like, it didn't look great anyway. Um, but I forgot that. I forgot that. I literally, I don't think about this on a daily basis, so I forgot it. Um, and I was just on HBO Max, like, oh, Flash movie, click, and I really liked it.
Besides the CG baby scene,
The CG was terrible.
yes,
The
and
CG
people are
was
defending
terrible.
it, saying it was again done on purpose. It was a
That's
creative choice.
bad. That is
Yeah, bad
bad.
decision. Yep. I'm not. If you're saying you did that on purpose, I'm not saying you're a bad artist. I'm saying you're a bad decision maker.
Yeah, you made a wrong call. Because the whole,
Bad.
that little time, I forgot what he called it, but that time arena that they kept going in looked terrible.
Look,
I loved the
oh the C.
concept.
Yeah, the CG of all the people and the
Yeah.
stadium, the seats. Ah, yeah.
I loved
Now
Michael
him,
Keaton.
Michael Keaton, love
I
Nicolas
love
Cage.
Supergirl. Supergirl
Supergirl.
was good.
Supergirl was good. Um, I probably one of my favorite DC movies in a long time.
Yeah, I think that felt weird. I think it was the best one that DC made in that little universe they were trying to build.
Yes,
I liked it. I enjoyed it more than I liked any other one.
it still felt so empty
Hmm.
when I know that 90% of this cast is fired. So
Yeah,
Gal Gadot
yeah.
coming in going Wonder Woman, and I'm going not anymore.
Not anymore. You're not.
She was my
The,
favorite. She was a wonderful Wonder Woman.
and they
Best,
use this movie to write those people out
pretty much. It was
because
we're
like
going
at the
to a
end
new
it turns out he's in a different universe. So,
Clooney's the Batman. Yeah.
you know.
Um, I did watch what is it, the final voyage of the Demeter, last voyage of the
Oh, is
Demeter.
that good?
Oh,
Oh man, I want that part always creeped me out when I read Dracula. Like thinking about being trapped on a boat at night with this thing, and then they made a whole movie out of it. I thought that's so freaking cool.
and the way that they made it, I'm not going to spoil a lot to you. I went into it with low hopes because they have destroyed Dracula's name in several things.
Yeah,
Um, the way they did Dracula's body, it reminded me if you took Gollum and the black and white Bram Stoker's Dracula and put his head on Gollum. Like he was creepy, he was
good. That's
skinny,
good.
um, teeth that didn't fit in his mouth. He looked great.
That's awesome.
And I was worried that they were going to go super cheesy, like jump
Hmm.
scares. "Grr."
Yeah,
Didn't do that. He was slow, like he was weak. And there are scenes where he's crouched in the corner of the set while they're moving and walking and talking. And you just see him hunched down,
oh,
and
that's
they don't
cool.
see him.
Oh,
So it
that's
brings back
cool.
that "don't go in there"
Yeah,
vibe.
yeah.
Good movie.
You ever
Good
seen
movie.
Nosferatu? You ever watched it?
Yeah.
You know the creepiest scene of that movie is him on the boat. It is
Yep.
the scariest part of the whole movie. I can't wait to see it. What's it
You know,
on? What'd you
Joe,
watch it on?
I bought it. I can bring you the disc.
You'd still do that?
Yeah, when they
I have
don't
to watch
stream right away.
Green Knight first.
Dude, how could you not have watched Green Knight? You've had it for two
I have
years.
to
I even went
take
and bought
it
another
and put it
copy.
in the thing.
Oh my goodness. One thing I know we completely skipped Halloween.
We did
Did you
skip
watch
Halloween.
Fall of the House of Usher?
No, I haven't finished. I haven't finished Haunting of Hill House.
What's wrong with? Why don't you like Joy?
I do. It's just I watched Coco Melon today.
I, I'm. It's not that I'm mad, disappointed.
So here's the worst part: is I watched all of Haunting of Hill House except the last episode. So I'm still cliff hung. I'm hanging on the cliff right now.
So now I will say this: finish Haunting a Hill House the first time you watch it is my favorite of the Flanagan Enterprise. You will immediately want to watch it again
Hmm.
because it's kind of like the big twists and turns in the last episode remind me of the Book of Eli,
Oh, where you
where
go
once
back and try to notice.
yes,
Yeah,
and he hides ghosts in every episode.
yeah. I know that. I
So,
saw a
but
couple of those.
then he did the Haunting of Bly Manor. Um,
Didn't that
not
an
the
adaptation too?
Yes, it's a adaptation of The Turn of the Screw. Um, it's a slow burn.
Yeah,
You gotta make it a lot of episodes to get any good meat. Then he made Midnight Mass.
I heard that was good.
Really good, really creepy, cool concept. You know what's going on first episode, but that's not the point. Like the point
Right.
is not that they're not trying to hide what's happening. It's the humanity of what's happening. Really cool concept. Then he did I think it's called the Midnight Club. Really boring,
So this guy's just
dumb.
doing this.
Yes. Then he did The Fall of the House of Usher, which is real big, Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah,
And some people didn't like that because I think they haven't read Poe and they don't know how great he is. But like in the final episode, they're quoting the poetry while stuff's happening, and it is just So much fun. It was a fun ride.
That's awesome. Well, we're about out of time here.
You're out of time.
I am. I'm out of time. And as always, we're gonna next time, um, we're gonna expand on what we missed on Halloween. How does that sound? We'll make a spooky December out of it.
I like that.
Yeah, spooky
Uh,
December.
I, being the most awesome of the two of us, think that's a great
Yeah.
idea.
Well, I've been Nick. What was your
I've
name
been,
again?
was it Captain Chili's?
Captain Chili's. And
Captain
you're
Chili's.
welcome.
You're welcome.